Hello everyone and welcome back to another instalment of our Portuguese barn conversion series.
Today is a really cool video. There's a lot going on, so make sure you stick around to the end.
And thank you so much to Amaze for sponsoring today's video. More information about that later.
We're the indie project Bee and Theo, and we've been living and travelling the world in vans for the past 6 years. We're currently renovating an abandoned stone barn in Portugal to turn into a beautiful tiny home for us and our cats Ginjey Bear and Furrnando. Follow our journey from the very beginning as we document the whole process of creating an off-grid home.
My eyes do not deceive me. You're sunbathing. We've got stuff to do. Can you even hear me? Hey.
What's up?
You're looking very comfy.
It's so warm. Like, I can't get over how warm it is. I feel a bit dishevelled.
Well, I don't want you drying out like a raisin. We've got stuff that we need to do today.
I cannot wait to get the back of this truck kitted out with like cushions, loads of drinks, a picnic, go down to the lake and just spend a day down there swimming. It's going to be amazing.
It is lovely, isn't
The
it?
summer is definitely on its way, isn't it?
It is.
I'm always looking for that light in the shadow. Always been wandering through darkness. I'm always listening for a sound to follow, waiting for something to begin. Waiting for something to begin.
I'm just switching over the back box on the tractor for the grass mower because it's such a lovely day. The grass has shot up. We've had a little bit of rain and so much sun. It's on another level down by where the orange trees are in the well.
It is so high.
It is like, it's literally just shot up and it needs trimming. It's probably going to have to be trimmed twice before the summer months.
You show off picking an orange at the same time.
Got an orange on the way and it looks pretty fresh as well. Woo!
The grass down here is amazingly high. Around the orchard it's just pure grass. Some bits are even up to my hip, and this has sprung up in literally about a week or so, which is amazing. And it is just grass that we're going to be cutting today. We've got some really beautiful meadows full of flowers that are perfect for the pollinators. So whilst they're still thriving, we won't be cutting those. But for now, we need to keep on top of the grass down here. It makes it really hard to get to the well and to get to the orange trees and the fruit trees and stuff. So it makes sense to trim it, especially when it's such a beautiful day.
I've annoyingly got really sticky fingers because I've just eaten 3 oranges in 30 seconds. They're probably the ripest, best oranges I've ever eaten on our land. And every year, I'm not boasting, but they're like world-class oranges. And this year, they're definitely up there. They're really, really nice. And it never gets old coming down to this area and just picking your own food and eating it straight off the tree. And I just can't get over the grass. The grass has grown up so much in the last 2 or 3 weeks. It's the perfect combination of rain and sun, and I'm ready to get mowing.
We're taking the high road. We're finally awake and we're taking the high road. I'm setting the sun, I'm ready to run, I'm walking a tightrope. I'm giving the fall, spring singing a song, we're taking the high road. We're taking the high road.
happy?
Oh, it looks so much better, doesn't it? It's pretty crazy how quickly you can mow the grass in an area on a tractor. I tell you what, this was probably the best purchase of the whole entire land. This thing is worth its weight in gold. I would recommend to anyone. I know there's a lot of stuff going on online where people are like, you can do it with a strimmer. My back could not do this with a strimmer. No chance. I mean, it probably could, but I wouldn't be able to walk for a few weeks.
5 acres with a strimmer would take a long time.
Exactly, and 5 acres isn't very big, and that's a question we get asked a lot. How big is your land? It's 5 acres, and a lot of it needs mowing. So it's well worth having a tractor, and also it's just good fun. And right now, I think it might be time for another orange. Do you want one?
Yeah, go on.
Now is the perfect time to say a big thank you to Amaze, who have sponsored today's video.
We've teamed up with Amaze to give you guys the chance to win a brand new 4x4 Sprinter van with $80,000 worth of customisations via Vansmiths.
And I'd just like to say we are sitting in our very own Sprinter van right now, so we can confirm that Sprinter vans are amazing.
It's such a cool opportunity for you guys to actually have the chance to own your very own Sprinter van.
The charity is Access Fund, whose mission is to protect public lands, restore climbing areas and repair impacted trails.
And you can have your new home away from home delivered to you or get flown out to Vansmith's shop in Colorado and road trip back.
So for your chance to win an amazing prize, I mean, I can't think of anything better than a brand new 4x4 Sprinter. Just head to amaze.com/indieprojects or click the link in our description.
And we'd just like to say a massive congratulations to Lars B, who actually won the last one. So congratulations, dude, and happy travels.
And actually, speaking of oranges that I just lobbed straight on the floor trying to look cool, throwing it in front of me. We do get a lot of questions asking if we're going to be growing our own food, as in planting a vegetable garden. And that is something that we definitely want to do. But with building our own house and everything else on top of that, we've just not found the time for it. And we want to make sure that when we do go through the effort of making a garden that we can grow fruit and vegetables in, mainly vegetables, that it'll be a success. So hopefully in the future, that's something we'll be doing, because I love the idea of just nipping outside and grabbing an aubergine or something like that.
I can't stop laughing. The fact that Bee says she wants to just nip outside and pick an aubergine. It's just the most random thing I've ever heard. But how nice does this area look now? You've got the long grass down here, which is up to my knee. And if you know, I'm 6'3", so that's quite big. And then this is all manicured and looking lovely.
Like a lawn, you could play golf on that.
Exactly, maybe I'll come down with some bowls and do some bowling.
You don't own any bowls?
Oh. But it's just so nice that we can walk down here now. It's also really nice because at this time of the year you get a lot of ticks and stuff. You'll start to see them on dogs, on cats, and it's nice to be able to walk down here without worrying about getting ticks all over you walking through the long grass. Such a good job done. And that smell was ridiculous. If I could bottle that smell that I just smelt underneath the orange trees, I'd make a lot of money.
So cutting grass isn't something that we do every day, but next I've got an activity that I do every day that I need to do right now, so let's go. So we've got 3 different nesting boxes here. We've still got this barrier up that was there when the chicks were nesting. And I have 4 hens who usually lay. Oh, here we go. 2 eggs. I've been getting 3 a day at the moment because the mama has stopped laying eggs. So one of them is laying eggs elsewhere. I do love just coming and sitting in the chicken house as well. I come and pick up the eggs, and when the babies were in here, I would sit on this stool that I'm on right now and just watch them for a bit, because it's super spacious in here. As you saw us building it in December, We went a little bit over the top, but we've got pretty big chickens and we've got 6 of them, so they need a lot of room, and it makes it really easy to come in and clean it and stuff and pick up the eggs and just little bits and bobs inside here. So actually, this chicken house is the perfect size, and we've had a question from someone asking, how has Furrnando been since he was neutered? Because as you might remember, he's a bit of a wild child, and we did get him neutered back in, I feel like it was January. I feel like it was either January or February, I can't even remember, but we've seen in the last couple of weeks, he's really started to calm down. Not in total. He's still crazy, but he's calmed down in regards of being aggressive. He's playful with Ginjey. He wants to play with her. But he's not being as dominant. He's not going for her neck. He's not having the aggressive ears and just being so angry. So that's pretty good. Like, our dream is for them to get along and be best buddies. They've been walking around the land and not attacking each other. They do still play fight, and Ginjey is still so used to him being a jerk that she does get quite angry with him, but he's not getting angry back. So it's actually really nice to see. So fingers crossed he continues to chill out as he gets older as well, because he's got to be over 6 months old now.
How nice is it sitting on there?
It's so nice. This was so important to me to have. This veranda was one of the most important aspects of the build for me. And the reason for that is you spend a lot of time outdoors, but you want something covered, so you want some shade because it gets so hot here. It's 40 degrees in the summer. It's so warm. You need to be under the shade. Even today it's really nice in the shade, but in the sun it's too much to sit out there for more than like half an hour. And that brings us on to another question, which is how big is the house? And it's actually 269 square feet, and that's not very big at all, I don't think, especially for your whole home. And
actually, that's not including the square footage of the mezzanine.
That's not including the mezzanine. That's literally just the square footage of
the floor on the bottom.
The floor size. So it's really important for when we were designing the interior layout of the barn, we maximise all the space. I imagine it's probably similar to a tiny home, an actual tiny house.
Yeah, I think so.
Our whole house is probably the same as a lot of people's kitchens or living rooms. It's quite ridiculous, but we love small living. There's something about it, and there's something about living quite minimalist, which we're still working on. We've got a lot of clutter, but we're hoping inside
tools.
There's lots of tools, but we're hoping inside the barn, the home, we'll have it really clutter free and lots of areas for storage and keep everything quite minimalist.
Where I'm sitting right now is definitely my favourite place to sit in the barn, because I've got a view of everything except for obviously the living room underneath us. Living room. But we've had a question from someone basically asking what are our thoughts on insulation. And to be honest with you, before we did our van conversion, I never ever thought of insulation, but since then it's something that I'm really tapped into, and I can confirm that insulation is bloody brilliant. We've insulated this roof with, oh look what I have here, 60mm of cork insulation that smells really nice and has done a stellar job so far. It's about, what did you say, 25 degrees today?
25.
25 degrees, it's really warm in the sun, it's been sunny all day. And the barn is so gloriously cool. Fingers crossed this is a sign of things to come, because before we had the roof insulated, the barn would get really warm. It was just tiles that would bake in the sun and the heat would just transfer straight through them. So insulation's really important, especially in a climate like this. The walls are like 1/2 metre thick, so the stone is a natural insulator. We've got the wood and we've got the cork, so I'm really happy with it.
And as well as going for 6cm cork on the roof, we're also going to insulate the floor with cork as well. So we're going for 25mm of cork on the floor. We're also going to plaster some of the walls, which creates more insulation properties. And any of the glass going into this building is double glazed as well. So it's going to be very well sealed, but also very well ventilated for the size of the space. I've just heard a load of noise, ran over, and Bee shouts, Sandy's in a tree.
Sandy's in the tree. The chickens were causing a right ruckus, so I came over and I couldn't find her. I just found her in the tree.
What are you doing in the tree, mate?
Well, how did you end up there?
Look at her, she's proper just in the tree. How crazy is that? I don't know if something scared her up there or what, but you look pretty good there, pretty photogenic. So this little guy went up the tree and got her down. Kind of a good thing, but I don't think he meant it as a good thing. So before we started doing this barn conversion, we actually travelled around Europe for the last 6 years in our self-converted Sprinter van. We've had some amazing times. We've been all the way up to the Arctic Circle. And some of you newer folk who are on this channel might not realise that we did all that. You might have just seen the stuff that we've been doing with the house, but we did do a lot of travelling, and we're still going to do a lot of travelling. I know a lot of you guys have been concerned, and one question we get a lot is, have you sold your camper van?
When you walked into the room, I couldn't keep my eyes off of you. Was it make-believe, or was it a dream?
Howdy.
I was just telling these guys that we've still got our self-converted Sprinter van.
Oh, we will never not have a van, and this van is going to be taking us around the rest of the world. Hopefully next year, actually. And of course it's got 2 cats in it.
Like Bee just mentioned, we could never not have a camper van. We just absolutely love the freedom that it brings.
Definitely not. It's been 6 years since we started travelling in vans, and it's honestly our favourite way to travel.
And in this van in particular, we are going to drive around the world. We need to let the pandemic completely go so that it's safe to travel and that all the borders are open, but we will end up doing it. But right now we've got a house to build. One question that crops up quite a lot is, are you going to have a bathroom inside your home? And the answer to that is, when you're living in a tiny space, you need to make compromises. And one compromise we've made is not to actually have a bathroom inside the living space, because we want it to be quite open and airy and have that bigger space feel. That's why we made the roof higher, so it feels a lot bigger than it actually is. And behind me is our bathroom. We built this a couple of years ago and it's been outstanding. It's just like a normal bathroom in a house, really. We've got a hot working shower that's powered by gas. We've got a lovely composting toilet, as lovely as composting toilets can go. And next to that, we've also got a bath, which is just incredible. An outside bath, so you can lie under the stars, bats flying around you, and it really is a nice, authentic vibe.
Through wind and wave, I'm whispering. Are you listening? In the dark of the night, follow the light, come back home. In the dark of the night, follow the light, come back home.
I am absolutely loving the head situation.
I forgot I even had it on, to be honest. I was like, head situation, what's going on?
You've taken my tea towel.
It stops my neck from burning. The problem is, it's so warm and the sun's on me all day. So I decided to use a tea towel because we've ran out of, I was going to say sawdust, but sun lotion.
To be honest, sun lotion won't work very well on your neck if it's in the direct sun constantly.
My legs are definitely burnt.
Yeah.
So we need to get some soon. We've just not been out for a long time because we've been in like a proper serious lockdown for like the last 10 days. And one of the questions we get asked a lot is, are our videos in real time? And pretty much they are. Since we've gone 2 videos a week, we've moved to 2 videos ahead. So everything you're seeing is 2 weeks behind. That gives us time to edit the videos, and I don't know, if it rains for 3 days on the trot, we've got some time to actually pick up and keep filming. But generally we actually film Monday to Sunday every single day at the moment. So it's a lot, but we've got a lot to film, we've got a lot to do, and we're excited that you guys are excited.
So we're letting the babies out for the first time today. They're a week old today, and they've grown up quite a lot actually in the last 7 days. The enclosure they're in right now is within an enclosure, so they're still really safe. Nothing can get to them, maybe from the sky, but Mom is always there to make sure they're okay. She keeps them under her wings. It's very, very cute to see. And they're a bit apprehensive, of course, because this is their first time in the big wide world. And it's just really lovely to see them stretching out, exploring the ground, picking up the ants, finding millipedes and all that kind of stuff. It honestly is the best little gift ever.
Well, you looked me in the eyes and you said it, and your face can say it all, so I know you meant it. And if I lose my way, then I know where to find you. Well, I know where to find you.
It seems a little bit creepy that I'm sitting in a bush, but it's the only way I can like watch the chicks without them just freaking out, because they're still small, they're still wary, and their mom spots me, and obviously I don't feed them, Bee does, so they're a lot more calm around Bee. When I turn up they start to panic a little bit, so that is why I have to bivvy myself into the bush and just be a creep.
You gotta be a lurker.
And just watch them from afar. But they're so cute. It's so nice to see them growing up. They really are getting proper like feathers now, and you can see that their little personalities are coming out. They're gorgeous, and I think they're going to blend into the rest of the chicken group really well.
Chicken group.
So whilst I'm sitting here watching the chicks, I thought it'd be a good time to answer another question, which was, when are we going to be starting on the internal walls of the barn? And that's something that we're actually hoping to get started on soon. Once the cement floor is down and dried, we can get working on the internal walls. Theo's going to be pointing the entire feature wall, which is opposite the mezzanine, and that's going to have our kitchen up against it, and then the remaining 3 walls all going to be lime plastered, which will really brighten up the place, open it up and transform it even more. And I'm really excited for that because I've seen it in other people's barn conversions and it does look really beautiful. It has a natural look to it and really does just transform the place. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff, one thing after the other. We've got a list of things we're working through, and slowly but surely we're getting there.
It's just turned into an absolutely beautiful afternoon, so we've decided that now lockdown has been eased, we're going to head to a lake and check out a new spot and hopefully jump in it if it's not too cold. And one of the questions we get asked a lot is about electricity. I know you guys see us using a generator a lot, but we do actually have 3 different solar setups on the land. Probably 4 actually. We've got 1 in our outhouse. That was incredible. It no longer feels like we're slumming it on the land. It feels like I can wake up, or I've been working with loads of cement and stuff and like dusty materials. When you finish for the day, you feel disgusting. And usually I'm like, okay, now I've got to boil a kettle, I've got to pump some water, like I said, and it's a long process. Now I just come in here, press one button, hop in the shower, and live like a normal human being. It's a super simple setup to power our shower. We just use this Renogy Phoenix solar generator that opens up, has its own solar panel, so it's completely self-contained, and then we plug in the cigarette lighter port of the pump, and there we go. One button and we turn it on and it runs our shower. I think we've got 335 watt of solar on the van. It does everything we need, self-contained in the van. It won't run like massive power tools, and also you'd have to have the van buy them power tools, so that's why we use the generator. We also have a lithium battery setup in our caravan, and that's really good because that's like our office and living area in the day. Last but not least, we have a portable lithium solar battery power bank that we can move around the land and use for various different things. And you might be wondering, well, what you're going to do with your house, what you're going to do in the barn when it's complete. And the reason we've not started on the solar system yet for the barn is because we're not living in it, so it'd just be pointless having it sitting there doing nothing. So when we move in, as soon as we move in, hopefully in the not too near future, we're going to have a really nice beefy setup in the barn that can run all of the things that we need to run in a house. Such a beautiful spot, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Wow, you can see how much rain we've had though, because this lake is so high. It's so high. There's like, we were driving around and there was nowhere to pull over where we could actually enter the lake, because I imagine usually there's like beaches and shores. We're just gonna have to dive straight in. And on the way here as well, it started raining and we were like, it's meant to be a lovely afternoon. We're going to come down to the lake, chill out, go in the water, and it was really raining hard. But now the sun's come back out and we're ready to go in.
So I'm a bit apprehensive about getting in the lake. I just put my toe in and it is very fresh in there. So I'm just going to delay getting in there for about a minute and answer another question that we've had. Do you want to answer it with me as well?
I'll answer it with you.
So the question is, what do we miss most about Britain?
100% the food.
After our family, obviously.
Oh, our family, yeah. Definitely our family. But a Birmingham curry.
Oh my god.
You just can't get them anywhere else. You have to be in Birmingham. They're the best curries you can get in the world.
Oh, yeah.
The flavour, it's something next level. You just can't compete.
I regularly ask my mom if she can send me a curry from Birmingham because you just can't get them.
They might get a bit stale
here
by the time it gets to Portugal.
Yeah, and I've tried to recreate them. I've never managed to recreate. You can never get the same flavour that you get in a curry house, and that's one of the things that I really do miss, and I really look forward to when we can next go back to the UK. I think the first night there, I'm 100% having a curry.
Yeah, I'll probably get pizza, curry, Chinese, and a few other, maybe like a Nando's, and do like a big buffet, a banquet.
It sounds absolutely perfect to me. And now I really desperately want a curry. But the good thing is that I've actually forgot for 30 seconds about what is awaiting me just there.
Very cold water. Look at the different colour of my legs. They're brown on the bottom, my feet are white, and then my legs are white at the top. The water's beautifully clear though. Cold.
Yeah, it is, but I'm doing this.
Oh, I nearly fell over.
Oh,
How does it feel?
it feels very fresh. It doesn't feel like 1,000 knives under my skin though, which is good.
You're lucky, you're fully submerged and I'm hovering just below the crotch
I
area.
had the idea that I was going to put my head under and get my hair wet, but now I'm in here, I do not think that's a good idea.
Oh, oh,
Got this.
oh, right. I'm below the crotch and it's gone numb.
You mean above the crotch?
Above the crotch, just, it's submerged. This really reminds us how much we miss traveling, because our truck's just parked right up there. That could equally be our van parked up in a forest next to a beautiful lake with crystal clear water. Look at that. And there's just stunning views everywhere. We definitely feel very lucky to live in an area like this. It's really beautiful. And to be swimming in lakes in April isn't bad either.
Do you know what the last question is?
I don't. I just need to get below the crotch and then I will look at the phone. Oh, you'll just hear my voice get the pain. Oh,
It's really not that bad.
go on, throw the last question at me.
All right, when are we moving into our barn/home?
So we will be moving into the barn as soon as we possibly can. We cannot wait. We really can't. But as a lot of you guys will probably know, it's not a sensible idea to move in too soon when you're still building it, because that isn't going to be a nice environment to live in. Having said that, I don't think we're actually that far away from actually being able to move in, which is just the thought of that gets me very excited, because
Very exciting.
it's been a long road. It's been a lot of blood, sweat and tears. It's going to be such a beautiful little place to live in. I can't wait.
I'm back on the land and I've warmed up significantly now, and I do hope that you have really enjoyed today's video. And don't forget, head to amaze.com/indie projects for your chance to win a brand new Sprinter van.